Pre Rup is one of the magnificent Hindu temples located in the Angkor region of Cambodia. Constructed in the mid-10th century during the reign of King Rajendravarman II, it served as the state temple and is dedicated to the deity Shiva. Why was it named Pre Rup? What does Pre Rup mean? Is it the original name of this temple? What are the secrets of the temple? What are inside of this ruined temple? Khmer Temples Nature is going to reveal all the mysteries of this temple. Pre Rup is a Hindu temple at Angkor Archaeological Park in Kingdom of Cambodia, built as the state temple of Khmer King Rajendravarman II and dedicated in 961 or early 962. It is the temple mountain of combined brick, laterite, and sandstone construction. It was dedicated to the Hindu god Shiva, and it is probably located on a former Shiva ashram built by Rajendravarman I. After Rajendravarman IV's reign, whose capital city was away from Angkor, at Khmer, there was a struggle for succession, and Rajendravarman II, one of his sons, took power, but he died a few years later and his cousin succeeded him, re-establishing the capital at Angkor. The new king, Rajendravarman II, chose the middle or the south bank of the East Barai as the site for his capital, and Pre Rup was built at its center. In the previous century, Rajendravarman I had constructed a line of 4 ashramas dedicated to Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma, and Buddha, spread along the south bank of the Barai. It is likely that Rajendravarman II's generous architect, Rajendravarman had a hand in the building of Pre Rup. Even though he had probably died by the time it was dedicated in 961 or early 962. Although its appearance may seem similar to East Melbourne, Pre Rup is a temple mountain while the former is not. Located some 500 meters south of the bank of the East Barai or Yesal-Taratada, Pre Rup is aligned on a north-south axis with the East Melbourne Temple, which is located on what was an artificial island in the Barai. The East Melbourne was also a creation of the reign of Rajendravarman II. Pre Rup's extensive laterite and brick give it a pleasing reddish tone that is heightened by early morning and late afternoon sunlight. The temple has a square layout and 2 perimeter walls. The temple's name is a comparatively modern one, meaning turn or change the corpse. This reflects the common belief among Cambodians that funerals were conducted at the temple. Turning the body derives from a sarcophagus on the side in front of the east stairway that was supposedly connected to a burial ritual still practiced today, during which the shape of a body is created several times, the ashes of the deceased and oriented in different directions. It is more probable that the supposed sarcophagus was really a pedestal of Nandi, the bull that is the mount of Shiva, to whom Pre Rup is dedicated, even though there are grooves in the stone that seem to indicate the existence of a lip. Anyway, the Pre Rup can be derived from Sanskrit inscribed on a sandstone found nearby, Vishvarup, which means the statue of God Shiva. The name was called Virarup, the statue of God, by the locals. The residents spoke different accents in the regions. Therefore, the word fresh or pre sounded pre to the archaeological researchers. That's why Pre Rup or Pre Rup was derived to Pre Rup. However, fortunately and clear enough, a large inscribed stele listed K 806, discovered in one of the long halls, provides an exact date for the consecration of the temple, 961 AD, and it is the original name Rajendravarman II. The outer enclosure is a platform bounded by a lateral wall, 117 meters north-south by 127 meters east-west. A lateral causeway gives entry from the east. Unfortunately, a modern road cuts across it. The four octagonal gururats are cross-shaped, having a central brick section crossing the three rooms, flanked by two independent passageways and a sandstone vestibule on both sides. To either side, inside the eastern gate, is a group of three towers aligned north to the south. One of the towers on your right appears to have never been built or to have been dismantled later. However, they are later additions, probably by Rajendravarman V. Each tower has its own door opening to the east and false door to the west. Most of the lintel carvings was never completed, but on the opening doors, we can see some carvings. Example on the first tower, south to north, Vishnu with human torso and lower body with a leonine face and claws named Narasimha, the four avatar of the Hindu god Vishnu, killing Asura Hiranyakashipu. On the second tower, there is sculpture of Indra sitting on the elephant Avarata. On the third tower, Rama standing on Hanuman. And on the fourth tower, a sculpture of Vishnu riding Garuda. And the fifth tower, you can see Vishnu killing Asura Madhu and Kaitop. The inner enclosure, measuring 87 east-west by 77 meters north-south, is also a platform bounded by a laterite wall, and it too has gopuras at the cardinal points giving access to the pyramid. Further ahead, through another gate, libraries with high towers opening west as usual lie to either side of the causeway on the second platform. They sheltered sculpted stone with motifs of the 9 planets called Navacraft in the library on the right, and the 7 ascetics found on the left. Just before the entrance, there is a sandstone cistern or sarcophagus with the ruins of 4 columns each side that may have supported a wooden roof. Beyond the libraries and around the walls of the enclosure is a series of long halls. The walls of these halls, which have sandstone porches, are built of laterite. In the courtyard, there are vestiges of long halls probably for use by pilgrims. They have sandstone pillars in the east and laterite walls and windows with balusters in the west. In the northeast corner of the enclosure is a laterite kiosk that may have housed a stele, topped by a roof in the shape of a priest's hat. As there's a pool in the middle of the kiosk with a drainage canal, Cambodian scholars feel that the chamber was used to wash the bones left over after the cremation ceremony, that the stone element mentioned above was in the fact a sarcophagus. Next to the kiosk on the north side of the first enclosure, a hall different from the outer one because it consists of a single chamber, not a tripartite one, up to some time ago, housed the foundation stele of Pre Rup, 298 lines of text, which make it one of the longest existing compositions in Sanskrit. There is also a series of long, distinct galleries running along each side, a distinctive feature of the 10th century architecture that would be substituted by a continuous gallery from Takao onward. Pre Rup is a temple mountain built on 5 tiers. The lowest to the third are of laterite, and the 2 on the top are of sandstone. Each tier represents 5 different worlds. First tier is a Naga world. Second is a Garuda world. The third is the Raksasa world, the human and demon world. The 4th is the Yatsa world, and the 5th is the world of Devet or divinity. Along the stairway to the top, on each tier, flanked by sandstone guardian lions, but only on the top tier remains. On the second tier, decorated with 4 small brick shrines, total 12, opening to the east on each cardinal points. These 12 small shrines represent the 12 zodiac animals in Khmer astrology, explains Angkor Kingdom Guidebook. The final squared pyramid, measuring 50 meters at its base, rises in 3 steep tiers, a dozen meters in height, to a 35-meter square platform at the summit. The third platform can be approached by a stairway on all four sides. Pedestals flanking the stairways are adorned with seated lions, of which those on the lower diminished the higher they go. At the top, 5 towers are arranged in a quincunx, one at each corner of the square and one in the center. Each tower has its door opening to the east. All remaining doors are false and finely and exquisitely carved in the sandstone with figures and plant motifs. Large sections of the original stucco works are still to be seen, especially on the southwest tower. On this tier, there are 4 main towers facing to the 4 sub-directions. These main towers were used to house male and female divinities to dedicate to the ancestors of King Rajendravarman, such as a statue of Rajendravarman II, Shiva, at the northeast tower. The statue of Iswara Rajendravarman Vishnu at the southeast tower. The statue of Oma, Queen Jaydevi, in the southwest tower. On the wall of this tower, sculpted with a female divinity that has 4 heads and 4 arms, named Saraswati, the Hindu goddess of knowledge, music, and creativity. And the carvings of Varahi, bearing the head of a soul and 4 arms, the Buddha avatar of the god Vishnu. And a statue of Esvara Rajendravarman Tevasvara Hasavarman II at the northwest tower. In the main central tower built on the top tier where Lingam Rajendrabutresvara was housed to dedicate to the king. An inscription on the door jambs of this tower found that dates from Jayavarman VI and is the only proof of his reign at Angkor. However, those god statues and lingam were looted. Reference to Angkor Kingdom Guidebook Part 2, Mr. Hamsapon, the writer, shares 3 interesting points translated from the inscriptions inscribed on the door jamb. 1. After returning from Lingapura Koke to Yesauterapura, the king not only restored the capital city but also constructed the temples from the previous king on the East Barai. 2. All deities in the shrine by King Rajendravarman, Sreyasavarman, and other ground kings, King Rajendravarman II continued worshipping as the previous kings restricted. 3. If we look at the real situation on the special characteristic of King Rajendravarman II, he combined 3 excellent theories in leading the country. 1. Dust is compared to the enemy's troops. 2. Virtue is a law. 3. The darkness is compared to the enemy's heart. The temple's clearance work started in 1930 till 1935 under Henri Marchal and Jacques Trouvé, French architects and civil servants who devoted a great part of their lives to research on the art and archaeology of Cambodia and the conservation and restoration of Khmer monuments at the archaeological site of Angkor in Cambodia. From 1995 to 2003, an Apsara and overseas funded project led and staffed locally successfully completed the restoration and strengthening work of the major towers. In 2001, Apsara National Authority began restoration works of the walls and the outer eastern gupura, which has mostly been completed as of late 2022. Visitors can explore the unique design, climb to the summit for panoramic views, and appreciate the historical significance of Pre Rup Temple.